Hi everyone, I'm Sergeant Mike Garland of the St. Louis Park Police Department, here today to talk about safe driving around school buses. Each fall as the new school year begins, school buses are on the road transporting students. Each school day, 3,000 St. Louis Park students ride the bus to school and home again.
Good morning, Liam.
Morning.
It's our responsibility as a community to do what we can to ensure the safe transportation of these students. What should you do when encountering a school bus? Amber lights mean a bus is preparing to stop. Slow down and use caution. When red lights are flashing and the stop sign along the left side of the bus is extended, you need to stop. How far from the school bus should you stop? Drivers approaching a stop bus from any direction must stop at least 20 feet away. This includes side streets at intersections. Drivers should not pass any school bus stopped with its lights flashing unless it's on the other side of a divided highway separated by a median. When can you legally pass a stopped school bus? When the red lights stop flashing and the stop sign has been retracted, it is safe to proceed, but please do so carefully. Despite their size and bright color, school buses are often overlooked by distracted drivers who don't notice the bus lights until it's too late. Each year, thousands of vehicles illegally pass stopped school buses across the state of Minnesota. There are possible fines and penalties related to a bus stop arm violation. We wish these violations didn't occur, and we often give violators a warning. Thanks for watching, and look out for school buses. Be aware, be alert, and be safe this school year.
City Hall remodel includes an art display wall on the third floor lobby next to the service counter. This is intended to provide an opportunity for local artists to display their work in a public location while offering City Hall visitors the enjoyment of viewing different pieces throughout the year. Artists Andre Tracy and Ricky Keeler stopped by during the art installation and offered some insights.
I'm currently interested in the healing aspects of color and the emotional reaction to what the viewer receives when they look at a painting as opposed to what the painting is. So my father was an important figure in my life, and I was his primary caretaker for about 10 years, and after he passed, this all coincided with my switching over to abstract painting. I wanted to do painting that was more about the emotional component of what was going on.
It's daunting, but it's wonderful. And the process, I've always felt the process is what's so important. What you're thinking about and what you're going to put together to make it work on the canvas, because there's so many elements of art that are important to think about when you're putting this piece on the canvas. But the thing that's most satisfying to me is when all of a sudden there it is. It just surprises you. And it can be very quick sometimes, or it can take a long time. But that process is really important.
I'm Jim Vaughn, Natural Resources Coordinator for the City of St. Louis Park, and we're here talking about our newly formed ash injection program. On St. Louis Park we have about 10,000 ash on public, private, properties. The public includes parks and boulevards, and so we're trying to protect a large part of those trees. We have emerald ash borer that's making its way through the Twin Cities. It's not quite officially found in St. Louis Park yet, but we feel it's knocking at the door. Could be found potentially this year, or I'm pretty certain by 2017 we'll certainly find it in St. Louis Park. Once all the trees are injected for this year and for next year and into the foreseeable future, we'll have them all mapped on an inventory system. And so we'll be able to look on our computer screens to figure out which trees are injected throughout St. Louis Park. And then we will pick other trees that perhaps aren't injected that are in key spots that we'd like to protect as well. So that's the end goal here, is to suppress the insect as much as we can in St. Louis Park. And one of the means, again, is by injection. If you're interested in getting your private tree injected, directly contact Rainbow Tree Care, and you can do that by calling them at 952-922-3810 or look for it online at rainbowtreecare.com/St. Louis Park. If you're interested in a boulevard tree getting injected, contact our city at 952-924-2562.
Hi, my name's Caleb and I'm a representative of the St. Louis Park Home Depot, and today we are building some raised garden beds. Kind of a breakdown on how we're going about it, because we want these to be off the ground to make sure that the vegetables that are going to be grown are going to be edible, which is important. The first thing we've done is we've laid out a course of 6x6s. That's going to give us 5.5 inches of clearance off the ground. And we're essentially building decks on top of those right now by laying a course of cedar 2x6s, gapping them about 1/2 inch to allow for drainage. And once this layer is complete, we're then going to build up with more 6x6s, essentially like the Lincoln logs that most people played with as children, alternating them course by course by course. And after we're done, these things are going to be 2 foot tall off the ground and allow for about 15 inches of dirt with which all the plants will have to grow out of.
So I'm standing here with Austin Boulay, manager of the St. Louis Park Home Depot, and the guy who is responsible for this outstanding project, where they not only donated their consulting and designing, but the materials and all this labor that they brought here today. So Austin, thank you so much. How is it that you came to be involved with this?
So part of our culture at Home Depot is around community service and giving back to the community. So I'd reached out to the mayor's office to see if there was anything that we could do locally to help community organizations to further positive change in the community, and they sent me to you. So they sent me to Julie, and we talked about this project and found that it was one that we thought we could really help with, and one that really fits with what we're trying to do within the community here. So it's been a good partnership.
When we first met, and I brought a little list and said, well, you could do this or this or this or maybe this. And when he was great on all of it, I said, well then, one more thing. We want to ask you to have a section of the store that is neonicotinoid free, and would you make a pledge to do that? And you actually looked at me and said, I don't have to.
Yeah, so that's certainly something that's been top of mind for us as the challenge with the bee population has become more important and prevalent. And so 95% of our live goods are all free of neonics, and so that's something that we're passionate about, and a lot of the insecticides and chemicals that we have are also organic and free of those materials. So something that is certainly top of mind for us, because we know it's an important piece to keep top of mind for the bee community. So.
Austin, this is just outstanding, and we're looking forward to a long partnership with you. So
Absolutely.
thanks so much.
Thank you very much. We're excited to be here.
Water. H2O. Where does our water come from? We simply turn on the tap and out comes clean, clear water. But there's more to know about your H2O.
Hello, I'm Jay Hall, Utility Superintendent for St. Louis Park. The City of St. Louis Park employs a number of steps to ensure safe, clean water to our residents and our businesses. Let's go in the plant and have a look to see what we do. All of our water is pumped from underground aquifers. We have 7 wells in the Prairie du Chien Jordan Aquifer and 3 wells in the Mount Simon Aquifer, ranging from 446 feet to 1,095 feet deep. Water next travels to 6 treatment plants with sand, gravel, pressure filters to remove iron, manganese for better tasting water and remove color and odor control. All 6 treatment plants add fluoride and chlorine to the water. 2 of the treatment plants also have granular activated carbon filters that remove PAH contaminants from the water. 4 treatment plants also add HMO, potassium permanganate, manganese sulfate for removing radium from the water. Radium is a naturally occurring element in many areas. The City of St. Louis Park's water is safe and meets all regulatory requirements set by the Environmental Protection Agency, the Minnesota Department of Health, and the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency. Water is then pumped to different storage facilities. We have 3 elevated storage tanks or water towers that contain 1 million gallons each and regulate the water pressure throughout the system. We also have 2 above ground storage tanks that hold 1.5 million gallons apiece and 2 underground storage reservoirs containing 1.5 million and 2 million gallons respectively. The city has a total maximum water storage of 9.5 million gallons and is capable of producing over 13 million gallons of water per day. Although we have a plentiful water supply today, weather conditions, population, and development growth increasingly raise the demand for water. So using water wisely and conservatively is the best practice now and in the future. Conserving water starts with the simple things. For example, a leaky faucet or running toilet, if not repaired, can waste upwards of 6,000 gallons a year. An advantage of the newly installed radio read water meters throughout the city is the ability to detect leaks in your individual home or business water system. More simple water-saving tips include not letting the water run when brushing your teeth or shaving, installing high-efficiency faucet aerators on your taps and shower heads. Choose and use your appliances wisely. Look for the Energy Star when possible and run them at full capacity. And remember, the city has a year-round lawn sprinkling restriction from noon to 6 p.m. daily. These are small examples that each of us can do that add up to significant savings. City staff and elected officials continually monitor our water capacity and are always on the lookout for ways to reduce demand through smart conservation efforts. So you could do your part by conserving this life-sustaining resource, H2O.
More information about your H2O and our city water supply is available on the city website, stlouispark.org. You also may contact Jay Hall, St. Louis Park Utilities Superintendent, at jhall@stlouispark.org or call Jay at 952-924-2557. Now, there's more opportunities to recycle in the park. St. Louis Park has received a grant from Hennepin County to purchase, install, and service recycling containers in the city's park system. This project triples the number of recycling carts available. The new solid blue recycle carts are now in city parks, and each cart has a sticker with color photos to help park users know what can be recycled. Please be sure to empty beverage and food containers before placing them in the cart. Thank you for recycling in the park. One of the unique advantages of the newly installed radio read water meters is leak detection. A common cause of water leaks is the flapper in your toilet tank. If you hear your toilet run occasionally or continuously, the flapper is usually the culprit and is an easy DIY fix or remedied by a plumber. Any leaks in your water system are now detected by your new radio read water meter.
Hello, I'm Jay Hall, Utility Superintendent in St. Louis Park. We're going to go over how to read your water meter and how to check for leaks by using your water meter. First, to be able to read your water meter, you need a bright flashlight and shine it right at the water meter register. There is the actual reading, 7,010.76 gallons. After that reading, a leak display should show up. They alternate between the two. It's saying 0. That's how it should look. It should be 0 all across. There's the reading. So the current reading is 7,010 gallons, 0.76. There's 0.00. That's the current water flow. If you had a leak, you would have a different number than that. I'm going to simulate a leak now. It's almost a 0, but there it is, 0.08 leak. If the city does suspect you do have a leak, you will either be notified by email or a letter in the mail to let you know that you have a possible leak.
If a leak is detected, city staff will not be sent out to look into the matter. The homeowner is responsible for all water usage and to investigate the source of the continuous flow. You may, at your own expense, hire a plumber.